It's time to meet the product owner. Luckily, your company, Best Web Development, has already assigned somebody experienced with the bike company to this project. Her name is Becky, and she understands the bike industry, website shops, and online commerce, and has experience with the bike company's customers and product users. But she doesn't know how to make use of her knowledge and how to benefit this project with it. And that's where you come in as a Scrum Master. You inform Becky that she is the product owner. The product owner is accountable for maximizing the value of the product. The product owner is a value maximizer. I bet you'll get tested on that. The product owner controls the value of the product by managing the backlog of work, which basically means that the product owner is the one who decides what work tasks are important, using their understanding of what makes a valuable product for the customer. We'll cover the product backlog in detail later. For now, just think of it as a list of tasks that need to be done to make the website. The product owner is another leadership role, and all good leaders need to have a vision and need to be able to sell and communicate that vision to the team. The product owner is the person that understands the market and the product and can make decisions on what will be valuable to the product users, and in our case, the website users and bike club customers. In Scrum, the product owner's vision is called the product goal. This is what we are trying to achieve. In our case, it's an enticing, user-friendly website that effectively turns website visitors into bike group customers. I won't focus too much on how the product owner defines the product goal and ensures work is of maximum value. I have another course specifically for that and the PSPO 1 exam. I'll put a link to that course in the resources section of this lecture. The product owner also creates and clearly communicates the product backlog items. That means basically creating and communicating the work tasks. The product owner chooses a way of ordering the backlog items so the team know which items are the ones to work on. These are usually ordered by importance to the value they bring to the customer, but also have to take into account things like dependencies as well. It is at the product owner's discretion on how they order, but it's common that the higher priority tasks are moved to the top. You will be tested on that. Remember, it is the product owner's discretion on how they order things. As long as they order things, it's fine, but it's their discretion on how they order them. The product owner must also ensure the product backlog is transparent, visible, and understood. Today, people tend to use online software to make the product backlog visible, but whiteboards and post-it notes can also be used. Just remember, if the backlog needs to be visible, make sure people who are working remotely can see the backlog, and those who are online, if you've got an online software, make sure people have access to be able to see it. Making sure it's understood, though, is something a bit different, and that is what the backlog review and sprint planning are for. More on that later. Here are some important points about the product owner's role. Pay attention because you'll probably be tested on these as well. The product owner may do this work or may delegate this responsibility of doing the work to others, but the product owner remains accountable for it. They can delegate, but the buck stops with them, basically. I think Scrum puts this in because the product owner may not be a full-time role, so they can delegate the role and responsibilities of keeping the backlog up to date and understood, but they are accountable for that. So the buck stops with them. The product owner is one person, not a committee. So you'll be tested on this as well. There needs to be one person and one vision alone. The product's goal, the product backlog, and the person making decisions in regards to maximizing value for the product. Even if you have multiple Scrum teams working on one product, you still just have one product owner, one backlog for one product. You do not want multiple product owners contradicting each other. You do not want a committee making decisions that take a long time to discuss and make decisions. The product owner may represent the needs of many stakeholders, and probably will, but it is one product owner that makes the value maximizing decisions ultimately. It is important that the product owner works with the stakeholders to know how to maximize the product value. Again, I'll cover this more in the product owner course, but those wanting to change the product backlog can do so by convincing the product owner. For the product owners to succeed, because this is a really important role, the entire organization must respect their decisions. The organization has to put the product owner in charge of maximizing value of the product, and the product owner is monitoring the market and anticipating changes and working with stakeholders and users and clients and customers to understand what makes a valuable product. The organization has to trust the product owner's judgment. The organization can see and test that judgment by seeing the outcomes of the product owner's decisions through the content and ordering of the product backlog and through the inspectable increments at the sprint review. More on the sprint review and the importance of the role that the product owner plays in that event later on in this course.